So we're going to cover all the skills we've gone over with Mr. Django, and to give you one spot to go review everything. So what we've got here first is relax on a mat. You take out a mat or a towel, and I like something lightweight. It's something that you can take with you. If you go to a hotel, a dog-friendly hotel, it's got a bunch of noise, then you can work with Mr. Django. If you take him to a park and he gets wound up, then you can bring your towel with you. I've had folks use this for plane rides, and really what this is giving him emotional intelligence and giving him the capacity to calm down and relax. And the body language is what's giving him that capacity, this nice relaxed body language of being in a down with his little hips cocked out to the side and resting his chin down is sending a signal to his brain that everything is a-okay and that we can calm down and relax. So you're going to want to just break out your mat and then give him treats periodically as he's just hanging out and relaxing. This is command free. We never say anything, and so the way that we initially got him to work through this is just give him a treat when he comes over to the mat, and then we'd give him a treat when he hung out for longer periods of time on the mat. Then when he offered up a sit, we'd give him some treats, and then when he offered up a down, we'd give him some treats. Then when he started sniffing down towards the mat, we'd give him some treats, and then eventually when he started resting his chin down, we'd give him some treats. So at this point, we have the finished product of him coming on over to the mat and relaxing and resting his little chin down, and so he can just get treats periodically when he's hanging out and relaxing. So if you want to do this more frequently, every at least every few days, you can do it daily to keep it super fresh. You don't have to do it for long periods of time. It can be 30 seconds to 3 minutes that you work on this, and just allow him to come on over and relax, and remind him he has the capability to relax himself regardless of whatever's going on. And then when you run into anything in the future that might get him wound up, then you break out your mat, have him calm down and relax, and he'll be desensitized, and you can work through counter conditioning on whatever that is. So if it's something he sees visually, then you can do it from a distance that he can do this exercise from. So it might be take him to a park and there's all sorts of activity going on, but he can do it from 30 feet away, and then you go 20 feet, 10 feet, and get closer over time and allow him to work through. One great way that I like to do this is just to relax on a mat at a park where there's a path in front of you with people going by on bicycles and kids and dogs and all sorts of crazy stuff to get your pup wound up, and just do relax on the mat where he's comfortable, and then you can approach that a little bit closer, because when everyone's on the path, they're not going to be concerned with you. They'll just go about their day, keep on cruising, but you've got the capability to get closer and closer, relax, and help him relax as you get closer. So can't say enough good things about this. Again, it's command free. He knows we're doing it by just breaking out the towel. And I do like to put the treats on the ground or on the mat so that he focuses more on himself and is less concerned with you. So that is relax on a mat in a nutshell. So one last piece I did want to go over, if it's an auditory response that gets him wound up, then you can do relax on a mat and Google that sound and play it on the lowest volume setting, and then slowly ratchet that sound up. So if it was fireworks or a doorbell, you'd put that on the lowest volume setting, and I would play that sound, and then as he's relaxing like this, put down some treats and then ratchet it up, 1 or 2 sounds within or volume levels within a session, so that he realizes, I can work through this big emotion that's being created by this sound by doing relax on a mat. So can't say enough good things about this exercise. So we'll keep on keeping on. This next exercise is a bunch of name game exercises where we just want Django to be able to focus in on us when we say his name. Get a little bit closer here. So actually I'm going to be able to see what we're doing with my face here. So on this first one, what we're going to do is I'm going to take a treat, drag it up towards my face, and say, Django. As soon as Django makes eye contact, then I'm going to click at that moment. Then I'm going to say, Django. out, dragging the treats up towards my face. He's got to be able to make eye contact, and then I'm going to take a treat, toss it on the ground. Django. He's got to be able to focus in on me, even though he's got that treat out there. And then, lastly, we're just going to work on some recall, where I'm going to say his name and then tell him to come, so he can simply take a treat. Django, come. Good boy. And start to work on recall. And really, those name games will cultivate a solid recall. So once Django understands, oh, you're speaking to me, then recall becomes much, much easier, because he knows I'm going to focus in on dad or focus in on mom. Django, sit. Django, down. You notice there, we only say that one time. We say our command one time to give him an opportunity to think it through. That's always what we want to do. Give him a moment. I don't want to repeat myself. Django, stay. Come. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. So with his stay, we put our hand up and take some steps back, and you can start to just gain more and more distance and more time to continue to increase his stay. But he's done an excellent job with that. Let me just tilt this up a little bit to get a little better angle. There we go. So next what we're going to do is go over our targeting exercise. Touch. So we want Django to be able to position himself simply by putting our hand out. Touch. And this is an excellent one for loose leash walking. It'll get him back where you need him positioned. And also, if he's just out in public and he's distracted, you want him to get his attention and also get him back towards you. You can say touch. And he'll come back over to that spot. And so, very, very helpful. I've even had dogs when we're doing recall, where they'll end up out in front here. Even where Django is here, he's not quite exactly where we want him to be. He's not close enough, but I'd say touch and get him positioned right by my side and get him where we want him to go. So I love it for positioning my dog. You can even get him to get used to doing different exercises, like going in between your legs. Django, touch. Good boy, simply by using targeting. So it's a fun one too. You can play around with it. Next, we're going to go over our leave it exercise. So we want to be able to retract and really pull back when he's got something that he's interested in. Leave it. Yep. So you notice that real retraction. That's perfect. It's exactly what we're looking for. I encourage you to work with some different items, and it'll help him to make more of a universal response that regardless of whatever it is that you've got. So we got a shoe here. We have something he's not able to have. I never let him actually put it in his mouth, but we'll tell him to leave it. Leave it. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. And if he actually gets something in his mouth, like a dog toy, which is totally fine, then we tell him leave it. So I basically just use the leave it and a drop it interchangeably. So I don't use drop it. If he gets in his mouth, I'll tell him leave it. He'll set it down. He's going after something he's not supposed to. I'll tell him leave it. He should pull back. Both are fine. Leave it. And if he actually gets this, we'll see if he'll go after it. Leave it. He's already kind of pulling away. But anyway, yeah, really encourage you to work with some different items, and it'll help him to make a more universal response. Leave it. Good job. Good ball. Perfect. So next we're going to go over our space exercise. So we want Mr. Django to be able to give us some space if he's too close. So if he's coming up, space. Tell him space, and he's going to give us this little bubble outside of ourselves. That's perfect, exactly where he is there. Even if he's too close here, space. Good. You notice he backs up there. That's perfect. So anytime he's too close to you, it's used as an anti-jumping exercise. If he were to jump up on you, we also tell him space. But I like to catch him before he has an opportunity to actually jump on top of me. Hey, Holly, you want to run in here for just a sec? So we've also got space that we can utilize with another person. So if he's getting too close to anybody else, we can also tell him space. So you can just say Django.
Django.
Django, space. Perfect. We'll try that again. Django, space. Perfect, thank you. So that is exactly what that should look like. If he's getting too close to somebody, then he'll stop there, turn away, and come back over towards you. That's perfect. That's exactly what our space command should look like. So next, I'm going to sign off here, and then we're going to go over his loose leash walking. So he's just an awesome little dude. He's just done a really great job. Love having this guy around.